This video was made possible by EA Game Changers. Hello everyone, I'm Evelyn. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So we're on day 2 of Early Access Early Access 1.0, because there's technically, well, maybe gonna be a second part too. I don't really know. But at least there usually is, so we'll see about that. But yeah, it's on day 2, and I have another build ready for you guys. I said that I was gonna post my favorite either today or tomorrow, so I kind of am a little bit tied between two of my builds, not gonna lie. This one is built on a 40 by 30, I think, and the other one that I'm thinking of is built on a 30 by 20. So one of those two is my favorite. I'm not sure which one, but I figured I'd give you guys one of the ones that I think are one of the better ones, at least today. So I hope you guys will like this build. I do have to say, as a disclaimer, just like yesterday, the software that I am using, so the game, this version of the game, is an early version, which means that it might be subject to change. So what you see might not be final. Just so you guys know, because there's still like 13 days until the pack is released. And if there are any glitches and stuff like that, they could still update them along the way before the pack is released, basically. So yeah, just had to throw that out there. Now let's talk about this build. So I knew that I wanted to build a bigger family home as well with the new pack, even though it's been really hard to find time for everything. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the last couple of, just to set it straight, the last couple of days, or yeah, the last couple of days have been really stressful, so, but it's fine. But I knew that I wanted to build something bigger, so I decided to sit down and build this. Obviously, the builds that I've been doing this week have been mostly inspired by pictures that I found on Pinterest, simply because I don't know the area that like this world is inspired by very well. I explained that in yesterday's video too, so I felt like for me it was important to find some pictures from, or of houses from that area actually, and I've been kind of using them as both kickstarters to my builds, so not necessarily as full-on inspiration, but also as full-on inspiration. I would say this one is a little bit in between the two, because it doesn't really look, it was really hard. I don't have the picture anymore, by the way, unfortunately, but, or I might have actually, I'm not sure. Maybe, if I can find it on Pinterest, I'll link it down below. But it was kind of hard to see where the windows were and stuff in the picture, so I just kind of had to go with my gut, basically. And also, the house was covered in like beautiful, both, I almost said blue, I don't know where that came from, beautiful green and red ivy. Like, it was so gorgeous. I love ivy on builds, especially when it's like, yeah, older buildings. We have a university, or it used to be a university. I don't know what they use it for anymore here, but in my city, and it's not even an older building per se. It might be from like the 70s or something. I don't know, but it's covered with ivy, and it's so gorgeous. I love how the ivy just crawls on the building. So yeah. I just, unfortunately, we don't have green and red ivy with either base game or cottage living, or we do have green, but it's not in the way that I wanted it to look. So, because that ivy is from, I think it's from Get Together. Did we also get ivy from another pack? I don't remember anymore. Honestly, I don't really check the pack icons that much when I build. I just kind of build. So, I don't remember anymore, but there is definitely ivy from one of the other packs that would have done I could have used that, but we're only building with base game and cottage living today, so I basically have none of the other things to choose from, but that's okay. It was actually fun. Just, I feel like you get a better experience or a better overall picture of what the pack is like when you only have that pack and base game. So it was actually good to, sometimes it's good to just have those two when you start out, like when you jump into it and you want to know about the new pack. It's good to only have base game and the new pack. Does that make sense? I hope I phrased that right. But anyway, so yeah. And also this build, I forgot to say, it's built in the farm-like area of the new world. So it's kind of, I don't know, there's just a lot of greenery around, but it's not like full-on forest, except that it kind of is as well. It's difficult to explain. I should have done like a map overview, but honestly, I did the build buy and then I was like, okay, I gotta jump into building now. Like, we gotta get started building. So I just kind of didn't really find time to do a map overview, but this is supposed to be the more like farm-like area of the new world. There is another one that's a little bit more like full-on forest. Obviously, as you can see, there's a lot of forest around the lots anyway. Also, this area of the map is just, it's so good. There's a pathway leading up to this lot that just perfectly frames the house on the lot, and it's just, it's so good. So I was like, just kind of, you know, like traveling around in tab mode a little bit at some point, and it's just such a beautiful area. I know it's very green and there's just a lot of trees and stuff, but it's just beautiful. Also, the little cars over on the right side of the lot, they're so cute. So I did actually want to place some cars on the lot itself, but then I figured the cars over there were probably meant to be the owner's cars, so it wouldn't make any sense to place extra cars on the lot, if that makes sense. So, yeah. In this area, this is actually one of the smaller lots in this area, because I think there's a 64 by 64, and there's also, there might be a 30 by 20, or it might be another 40 by 30, but I don't really remember. I'm pretty sure there's also a 50 by 40 though, so I can guarantee you that there is a 64 by 64 and a 50 by 40. I just don't remember if the last lot in this area is a 40 by 30 or if it's another, or if it's a 30 by 20. But yeah, the lots in this area are a little bit on the bigger side. Obviously, like I said, it's supposed to be more like a farm-like kind of area, so it makes sense to have bigger lots so that you can actually place down these farming elements, such as the cow house. I don't know what that's called. Not the chicken coop. The cow coop. Yeah, let's just go with that. I forgot what it's called. It's completely okay, but they take up quite a lot of space, you know, the little buildings where the cows and the llamas belong to. They do take up a fair amount of space, so you kind of need a bigger lot to be able to place them down. And I appreciate that the lots in this area are a little bit on the bigger side. I know, I build tiny houses, but I appreciate it. You'll also get to see a cow, actually, because I do use that little cottage building coop, cow coop, yeah. I actually do use it, so I think I also summoned a cow. Yeah, because it's Martha. I ended up calling her Martha. She's super adorable, although a tiny bit weird now and then, but that's fine. I did a whole thread about her on Twitter, by the way, if you haven't seen it. I know it was a little bit weird. I was just, I don't know, I was in a weird kind of mood. It's fine. But she's my favorite cow in the whole game. So she's super cute. You'll see her in a little bit. Also, I forgot to say, but this is for 1 or 2 parents, a teen, a kid, and also a tiny human. So there's room for a little bit of everything here. I did not make room for grandparents, although, come to think of it, I feel like it would be cute to have a family home, like a Generations family home. I probably want to do something like that once I get access to the pack again, because I did not do that with early access. It just did not cross my mind. Also, I'm desperately trying to, I feel like when you're placing the animals on the ponds, you do have to make sure that the pond is actually wide enough, because otherwise they're just kind of going to float in the air a little bit, which, I mean, they're ducks and stuff, but they're supposed to be swimming. So I decided to place down some swans here because I thought they were super pretty, and also some fish, of course. You can see them right here. Super pretty swans. So, but yeah, just be aware that once that feature is introduced, it's base game, by the way, both the animals and the water as well, the pond feature, it's all base game, so everyone will get access to it as long as they have a legal version of the game, just so you guys know, as in a version that still gets updated. So yeah, that is a base game feature. It's pretty cool. That's also the feature that comes with the crocodiles and stuff that I showed off in the build buy overview. So I actually sorry, I have to mention this, but in my build buy overview, I was kind of joking around with a fox, and someone apparently got offended because I was mean to the fox. It's made out of pixels. It doesn't have any feelings. Don't worry about it. And also, I freed it afterwards, so it's all good. The fox is fine, you know? It's all good. I just want to point that out, but don't worry about the fox, okay? I just kind of made a small pond around it because I felt like it was gonna eat the bunny. Well, I mean, unlive the bunny, not eat it. Just, you know, unlive it. So, because they don't actually eat the bunnies, they just kind of, the bunnies just magically disappear. You guys get what I mean? You guys get where I'm going with this, okay? I don't know if maybe that lot that I was showing off the build buy on had the fox trait. I completely forgot to go through the new traits, by the way, so terribly sorry about that. And also, I completely forgot to say this at the start of the video, but the trait files for my builds that I'm doing this week, until I'm done doing cottage living builds for now, they won't be up on Patreon and they won't be up on the gallery until I get access to the pack again, because I can't, with the software that we're recording on, you can't actually save the tray files. So currently I don't have them anywhere, but I do have a save file with the builds in them. So once I get access to the pack again, I'll make sure to move that save file into my own version of the game so that I can save the tray files. I hope that makes some sort of sense, but the point just is they won't be up for a little bit, but they'll be up when everyone else gets access to the game. So if you are totally into the builds that I've been doing these past couple of days, which means today and yesterday, and well, the next coming days, and you really want them for your gameplay and stuff, they'll be up at some point. So keep an eye on the community tab around pack release, and I'll let you guys know when they're up on both the gallery and also on Patreon, just so you guys know. But yeah, I'm gonna do my best to make sure that, I know for this lot, the terrain paint actually disappeared because I started building another cottage in the same area, and I kind of tapped, or like I went to that camera and I traveled to this lot and I saw the terrain paint was gone. So I'll have to redo that before I upload it, but it's fine. It's not like, you know, it's a 40 by 30 with a lot of gardening space and I've been doing a lot of terrain paint or anything like that. It's completely fine. I'll just redo everything. It's all good. So I don't know why they haven't changed that or fixed that glitch yet. It's really strange that you just close down the game and then you open it again and the terrain paint is gone. Like, what's that about? I don't know. It's weird. So I did have my friend Sam said that it might be because of like an overuse of terrain paint. So if you use more than 3, the game gets a little bit confused. So 3 on one lot, the game gets a little bit confused, and that's why it deletes it. And in this case, on this lot, I might have used like 6 different ones. So I'm not gonna apologize to the game because I was just trying to make the build look good. But I would very much appreciate it if you didn't remove my terrain paint in the future. Just, you know, I don't know, just an idea. So for the interior, I wanted to try out a color scheme that I hadn't gone for in any of the other builds, because I think this was the 4th one that I ended up building actually, and I know that for 2 of the other ones, I've mainly gone for brown, if I recall correctly. I honestly, I don't. It's hard when you do like 5 builds in no time, and then like in my head, they're all just kind of mixed together a little bit. So the first 2 that I did, I don't remember them anymore, but it's fine. I'll like refresh my memory before I do the voiceovers for them. Don't worry. I just don't fully remember the exact color schemes of those builds, but I knew that for this one, I wanted to go for something a little bit different compared to the other ones. So we're mainly going for white wood tones in the interior, sorry. And then also some pastel-like colors, at least like lighter, more muted colors. So it's a little bit more toned down compared to some of the other builds that I've done, I think. Just because the white makes it a little bit cleaner or something, I don't know. It just looks a little bit more toned down, in my opinion at least. I know there are some clashing patterns with the rug and the wallpaper, but I don't know, I feel like it has a charm to it still, so I'm just gonna go with it. I know that the wallpaper is definitely not everyone's cup of tea, but it is cute. I feel like it's cute. It's definitely not something that I would go for myself for my own home, but for like a build now and then, it's pretty cute. So I'm really excited for them. I feel like the prettier one is this one that I'm using in here, but the cuter one is the one that I've been using in the dining room. That's also the one that comes in like different swatches with rabbits and mushrooms on them, and it's adorable, to be honest. but this one is definitely the more prettier one of the two, if I may say so. As far as I remember, there's also no system to which color wallpaper comes with, like white wood panel or light brown panel or dark brown panel, so it's a little, you have to kind of mix and match as you will. Like you have to work a little bit to make it work. You don't have endless options basically. But this wallpaper definitely comes in a lot of nice color combinations, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. Although I feel like this color combination right here with the blue and then the green flowers with a touch of pink and a touch of yellow and then with the white wood panel, that is probably my favorite combination. There's something really pleasing about this blue tone with the white wood. It looks very, very nice to me. But like I said, again, it's not really what I would go for myself in my own home, or if I was decorating for someone else in real life, I definitely would not. I'm a no wallpaper kind of gal, you know? So definitely not. But for The Sims, depending on the household, of course, I feel like it could work very, very well. And in here, I realized, clashing patterns, but we're gonna go with it. Just work with me here, it's fine. I know it's a little much, but it's the vibe that we're going for. So this is the parents' bedroom, although you could technically, this could look a bit like a grandma bedroom, I'm not gonna lie. There are certain grandma vibes to this pack, you guys know what I mean. So, but, I mean, the house could technically be for grandparents raising their grandchildren. Why not? That could work. I mean, I don't have a set household for this house, although there's a dude standing in the corner of the room looking at his phone. He's a pre-made, I think he lives here with his husband, as far as I remember, but I can move them to a different lot. It's fine. I'll still keep them in the game in my save file. I just knew that I wanted to build on this lot because the whole like I said earlier, the path leading up to the lot, it was so pretty. So I just needed to build on this lot. It was compelling me to build on it, basically. But if you guys want the households, the original households in the save file, definitely let me know. Otherwise, I could do some tweaking and stuff or just delete all of them and come up with my own. I'm fine with that as well. Completely fine with that. So, but definitely let me know. So the parents' bedroom is on the ground floor, and then I put all the kids' bedrooms on the second floor, including the tiny human. So you're gonna have to teach the tiny human to walk up and down the stairs a little bit quick, because otherwise you're gonna have to carry the tiny human up and down the stairs every time, just so you guys know. Or at least if you eventually decide you want to play in this house, because currently you can't. I don't know why. It's a habit. It's fine. It's a habit. But yeah, I put all the kids' bedrooms up here. So this one is for the teen. It's pretty simple. I actually was surprised how fast some of these builds took to build. Did that make sense? Whatever, you guys get my point. Because usually I take such a long time building my houses. Even tiny houses tend to take me 2 to 3 hours, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. But I'm just a slow builder. I'm not the slowest, but I'm generally, I think, a slow builder. But when you only have base game and one pack to choose from, everything goes a lot quicker. That really surprised me. But still took my time. I'm not saying I rushed through any of these builds whatsoever, because I just like to take my time. But it was still a surprise how fast some of it took, because you just don't have a lot of items to choose from. So this is for the kid, and then the last one of the rooms up here is obviously for the tiny human, the teeny human. I hope that I didn't get to playtest any toddlers with the new animals, but I could definitely imagine there being some kind of interaction between the toddlers, and especially the chickens, or maybe like a baby chick. That would be so cute. A baby human with a baby chick. Yes. Okay, or a baby sim with a baby chick. Yes, that is a good combo. But unfortunately, I did not test it out, but I'm hoping that maybe I can try it out once I get access to it again. Also, if you guys want to see some gameplay from me, let me know. I didn't have the chance or the time to record any in this first round, but there's something about the animals that I really they make me want to play the game a little bit, so if that's something you'd like to see, definitely let me know. I think I've explained this before, but doing gameplay videos would not take any time away from doing my builds, so it would just be extra videos basically. So don't think that I'm gonna prioritize gameplay videos over build videos, because that's not how I do things. I like to do mainly builds, but I would also like to sprinkle in a little bit of gameplay if that is something that you guys would like to see. I don't know how many are doing gameplay with this pack currently, so it's not really something that I keep an eye on. But there's just something about the animals. I want to get to know the llamas, I want to get to know the cows and everything, so if that is something you want to see, definitely let me know. So we're working on the exterior again. I only did a little bit here at the front before, or most of the front before, and then also the pond at the back corner. So I was having some issues with, you'll see this when I'm building, because it felt like a big puzzle that I just could not solve. It was so annoying because I wanted to include like 3 different kinds of fencing. I wanted to include the stone one, I wanted to include one that's made out of wood, one of the new ones as well, and I wanted to include the hedges that's also fencing. But for some reason I couldn't make them work together for the longest time. So that was annoying me so much. I ended up getting it to work. I feel like this is actually, I think it looks good for this kind of build. It's not something that I would usually do, definitely not, but I feel like for this kind of build, it kind of worked. Because you have this little section where I ended up placing the cow house, and then you have another section where the farm, like the plots are, the things you can plant on, yeah, the plots. And then also, is that what it's called? I'm kind of like, is that not what it's called right now? You know when you said or thought a word too many times and suddenly it doesn't make sense in your head anymore? That's that word for me right now, so I'm just gonna go with it. But anyway, and then you also have this little area with the chicken coops. I placed down 2 of them, by the way. I don't know if that's difficult for gameplay, but we're going with it. It's fine. You gotta remember, when you buy the animals in the game, just like in real life, you have to take care of them. So it's not just buying them and then leaving them be. You gotta actually take care of them. And I think it helps a little bit that the areas are split up like this. So the chicken coops are in a fenced-in area, and the cow here as well is fenced in. It kind of helps a little bit. I was doing another build where I basically just let the chickens roam in the yard, and the first thing I saw after I purchased one of the chickens was that it ran directly towards the gate, and I'm like, no, what are you doing? You're not supposed to try and run outside. So I feel like they might try to escape, but also there's a lot of stuff with, what's it called? The foxes and stuff. They do attack the chickens, so just be aware of that when you're building. You kind of want to protect those little chickens. So because the foxes, well, yeah, they make them disappear. I think I already said that. They make them disappear. They don't eat them. They don't kill them. They just magically make them disappear. It's all good. There is no such thing as killing in The Sims, right? Okay. I really should not be using that word on YouTube, by the way. YouTube, I just meant unalive, okay? I did not mean the K word. I meant unalive. We're all good. Don't demonetize my channel. Fine, let's move on. But I think it helps that they're fenced in also so they don't run away. I was so terrified when that chicken ran directly for the gate. I was like, no, where's it going? Stop. And then luckily it stopped. I think it saw that there was a gate and it couldn't actually run out. But I'm not really sure what happened there. So anyway. So this is where you can plant all your fancy things like stuff like veggies, yeah, vegetables or whatever else you want to plant. And then we have Martha that you saw just before. She's my favorite cow. She's a black spotted cow, I think they're called. We call them bull. Whatever, it's fine. Did that sound like a word to you guys? Probably not. I should sprinkle in a little bit of Danish now and then just to throw you guys off guard, you know? Or however you say that. Keep you on your toes, whatever. But she's such a cutie. She was kind of like at some point howling at the sky. It was a little bit weird, but I'm not going to question it too much. She does her thing, it's fine. So she's a valued member of the family. For the family that's supposed to live on this lot but doesn't. So she's the first member of the family. Oh, there we go. Works perfectly fine. Other than that, we've got the chicken coops. I made this little secret pathway to the pond here at the back that I believe you can fish in as well. I also placed down a bench so that, you know, if the grandparents come to visit and they just want to get away from the busyness of the house, they could just go to the pond and look over the pond and just sit there and look at the swans or whatever they want to do. And then I also placed a picnic table outside. I think I placed it on a picnic basket on the table as well, although it might be empty. So just so you guys know, you might have to actually put some food in there before it works. They also have a dining table on the back patio along with a grill, and other than that, I think that is it. There's a lot of terrain painting here, which is why I'm kind of really bothered that the terrain paint just kind of disappeared and that I have to redo it because I spent such a long time doing all the terrain paint. It's fine though. I'll go through my video here and I'll just follow, and it's fine. It's like following a tutorial basically. It's all good, but I would very much like for them to fix that bug because it's starting to annoy me just like a tiny bit. Most of the trees that I'm using here, by the way, like these ones here, and also the taller ones, so not the evergreens that I placed on the right side of the lot, but every other tree basically is actually from the debug catalog, or from the World Objects catalog, I should say. So once you get access to the pack and you want to do some landscaping and stuff, I highly recommend that you activate that cheat code to get access to those trees because they match the surrounding trees in the area a lot better than the ones that we have currently in the game, so just the base game ones. There is a cats and dogs tree, but it's fine. It's just a tree, whatever, no big deal. But they kind of made that a little bit, I think it's actually base game too, I'm not really sure, but it's in the World Objects catalog for this pack as well, but I don't really care about that. I'm not bothered whatsoever. Just thought I'd let you guys know anyway. So yeah, just make sure that once you start landscaping, activate that cheat code and you are good to go. But other than that, we are at the end of the video now, so I'm gonna be wrapping up this voiceover. If you guys like this build, you can not download it just yet, but I'll update you guys over on the community tab when you can, so keep an eye on that in a couple of weeks from now. And that is all I got for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!
Like stone, emotionless in this world of stories. Oh, like stone, I'll be here forever, waiting for your call. Lovers come, lovers go, and their hearts seem to change, but mine's still the same, 'cause I still love them all, and my heart's not to blame, it's just the way it is. Like stone, in this world of stories. Oh, like stone, I'm fixed in a framework that is moving beyond my control. Like stone, I'm motionless in this world of stories.